Hello everyone YouTube audience, today you will be treated to a fascinating story about another cheating. Grab a snack and sit back and make yourself comfortable. Let me give you the lay of the land. I'm 34, crypto guy, early adopter, got in before most people even knew what Ethereum was. Made enough to not worry about bills, retirement, or even working, really. I live pretty comfortably. My wife and I have been together 8 years, married for 5. We met through mutual friends, and she was that type of girl who lit up a room and knew it. Wild, sarcastic, funny, and yeah, kinda bitchy if I'm being honest now, but I used to think that edge was part of her charm. For a while, things were good. We traveled, we partied, we had fun. But I'll be the first to admit, I checked out in the intimacy department. Not intentionally, I was just busy. Obsessed with the markets, always checking charts, deep in Discord threads. She complained about it a few times, said I was married to the blockchain, and I laughed it off. Thought she was being dramatic. Looking back, that's probably when the crack started forming. She got colder. Less affectionate. Stopped asking me to do stuff together. Started spending more time at her friend Jess's place or saying she was taking solo mental health days. I didn't question it at first because, truthfully, I was in my own little bubble. She still smiled, still posted us on social media, still slept beside me. But it was like I was sharing a bed with a stranger. And I had no clue that stranger was sleeping with my own brother. So yeah, hindsight is a cruel teacher. Once the blinders were off, I started seeing all the signs that I should have picked up on earlier. And damn, there were a lot. First was her phone. She used to leave it lying around like nothing, even asked me to reply to texts for her sometimes. Then, all of a sudden, it was glued to her hand like it held state secrets. Always on silent. Face down on the table. She'd flip the screen away from me if a message popped up. I remember one night, we were watching a movie and she got a text that made her smirk, not laugh, not smile, smirk. I asked, "What's funny?" and she said, "Oh, just being an idiot," then put her phone in her hoodie pocket like it was radioactive. Something about the way she said it stuck with me. Felt off. Then there was my brother, Liam. He and I have always had a weird relationship. I'm the older one, the more successful one, and he's always kinda coasted on charm and good looks. Never really found his lane in life. But we still hung out, he'd come by, we'd drink, talk shit, argue about sports. My wife used to joke that we were just two versions of the same guy with different wallets. Lately, though, she started bringing him up more. Little comments like, "Your brother's actually really deep, you just don't give him enough credit," or "Liam helped me pick out this wine, he knows what I like." At the time I thought, okay, cool, they're getting along. That's good, right? Wrong. One night, I walked into the kitchen and they both went dead silent. Not like mid-conversation quiet, guilty quiet. Like someone hit the mute button and they forgot how to blink. My wife tried to cover it with some weak joke about me being the ghost of crypto future or whatever, but Liam wouldn't look me in the eye. That was about a week before everything exploded. And I still didn't see it coming. So, the day everything came crashing down started out normal. Too normal. She kissed me on the cheek that morning, which was rare. I remember thinking, maybe we're coming out of the funk. I even thought about planning a weekend away, maybe surprising her with a trip to Tulum. Stupid, right? I was in my office, which is really just my man cave with 6 monitors and way too many Funko Pops, tracking a pump on some obscure altcoin. She said she was going to meet Jess for lunch. Standard. She grabbed her bag and left. Didn't even take her usual leaving selfie. Again, I brushed it off. About an hour later, I realized she left her iPad on the couch. Now, before anyone jumps on me for snooping, I wasn't planning to. I actually went to move it so I could sit down. But when I picked it up, it lit up with a preview notification from Messages. And guess who the message was from? Liam. My brother. It said last night was insane. I still can't believe we did that in his bed. I froze. My heart didn't just sink, it imploded. I opened the thread. I didn't want to. I had to. What I found made me feel like I was watching a car crash in slow motion, and I was the driver. Dozens of messages. Photos. One of her wearing my hoodie, sitting on Liam's lap. Voice notes I didn't even play because I knew I'd never unhear them. She called him baby. She joked about how dumb I was for not noticing. She even said, and I quote, "If he ever finds out, I'll just gaslight him like always." Like always. So this wasn't new. This wasn't one mistake. This was a whole campaign. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just shut down. I sat on the couch for like 45 minutes, rereading texts and trying not to throw up. Then I took screenshots. Every single one. I airdropped them to my phone, backed them up to Google Drive, and then just sat there, waiting for her to come back. And that's when I decided, I'm going to confront her. Today. She walked in like nothing was wrong. Sunglasses on, sipping some green juice, scrolling Instagram. I was sitting at the kitchen table with her iPad right there, screen on, Liam's name still visible. She saw it and froze. Like her soul lagged behind her body. I didn't say a word. Just looked at her and said, "Wanna explain this?" She tried to play dumb immediately. Like full Oscar performance. "What are you talking about? That's old. That's not even, that's not what it looks like." I tilted the iPad toward her, showed the photo with her on Liam's lap, timestamp from last night. Her face did this twitch thing, like her brain was buffering. Then came the word vomit. Asterisk, it was just a mistake. Asterisk, we were both drunk. Asterisk, it only happened once. Asterisk, okay, twice. Asterisk, okay, it's been going on for a couple months but it didn't mean anything. I asked her, point blank, "You had sex with my brother in our bed?" She didn't answer right away. She looked down, bit her lip and said the single most infuriating thing I've ever heard in my life. "Well, if you'd been paying attention to me, maybe I wouldn't have needed to." I swear to God, I almost blacked out. She blamed me. Said I'd emotionally neglected her. Said she felt invisible and Liam was just there for her in ways I wasn't. She literally said, "You care more about Ethereum than you do about me." Like my investment portfolio was the reason she decided to go full Jerry Springer with my own blood. The gaslighting was next level. I was going to end it. "I still love you. I was just lost. I didn't think you'd find out. That last one, oof." She tried crying. Tried touching me. I backed away. She kept saying, "Can't we just move past this?" And that's when I said, "Move past it? I haven't even processed it. You didn't cheat on me with some random. You cheated on me with my own brother." Dead silence. I told her to leave. She refused. Said she lives here too. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was so insane I didn't know what else to do. I walked into the bedroom, locked the door, and slept on the floor while she banged on it for an hour like I was the one who did something wrong. I didn't sleep that night. At all. Just laid there on the hardwood floor with my hoodie bunched up as a pillow, staring at the ceiling like it owed me answers. My mind kept looping every message, every lie, every smug little smirk they probably shared when I was sitting in the other room playing Trader Boy. It was like the whole reality I'd been living in got yanked out from under me. And I didn't feel one emotion, I felt all of them at once. Shock. Rage. Betrayal. Numbness. Repeat. And the worst part? It was my brother. The one person I'd never think twice about leaving alone with her. The guy who used to crash on our couch, eat my food, borrow my clothes. We fought over dumb shit our whole lives, video games, who got the front seat, whose turn it was to mow the lawn, but never this. This wasn't a fight. This was a violation. I didn't talk to either of them for a couple days. I couldn't. Every time I opened my mouth, all I could picture was her kissing him and laughing about how dumb I was. My appetite vanished. Crypto tanked that week, and I didn't even care. That's how you know I was spiraling. I finally told one close friend, and his response was, "Dude, you should burn the house down." Metaphorically. But like, seriously. It helped to laugh, even if just for a second. But under all the anger, there was something worse, this deep, gnawing sadness. Because I actually loved her. I didn't always show it right, and yeah, I screwed up by being distant, but I never, not once, would have done what she did. She chose to betray me, over and over again. Not because of one bad night or one dumb mistake. But because, when things got hard, she decided she'd rather sleep with my brother than talk to me. And once you see someone for who they really are, you can't unsee eye. After 3 days of emotional limbo and watching my wife mope around the house like she was the one who'd been betrayed, I snapped. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I did something way scarier. I got calm. I scheduled a consultation with a divorce lawyer. I didn't tell her. Just left the house that morning like I was grabbing coffee. Sat in some sterile office while a woman named Danica walked me through asset protection, property division, and what proof I'd need to make sure she didn't walk away with half my hard-earned crypto. Spoiler, screenshots equals gold. That same day, I also called my accountant. Locked down all joint accounts. Froze the credit card we shared. Changed the passwords to everything. Wallets, backups, even the Netflix. She noticed real quick. Came storming into my office like she had any moral high ground left. Why can't we just talk about this? We've been through so much. And I just stared at her and said, "You went through my brother. I'm done." She tried to switch tactics, went cold. Accused me of being controlling. Of being a workaholic. Said I emotionally abandoned her. Even tried to guilt trip me with, "I didn't mean to fall for him. It just happened." I told her falling was a choice. That everything she did was a choice. Sneaking around. Lying. Sleeping with Liam. In our bed. That none of it just happened. The final straw came that night. I was checking the Nest Cam in the hallway. Yes, I installed them after the discovery because trust equals 0 now, and guess what? She tried to sneak Liam into the house while I was asleep. Into my house. I saw her whispering at the door like they were 16-year-olds sneaking back from a party. She clearly didn't realize I could see the whole thing. I didn't even wait till morning. I walked into the living room, holding my phone with the footage playing, and said, "You've got 15 minutes to pack a bag. You're leaving tonight." She screamed. Threw things. Swore I was ruining her life. Called me heartless. I didn't budge. I called her an Uber and stood there until she got in it. I haven't seen her since. So, kicking her out was its own brand of closure, chaotic, painful, but necessary. But I knew there was still one hell of a storm brewing, Liam. I didn't reach out to him right away. I needed a couple days to cool down, or else I probably would have done something I'd regret, like throwing hands and ending up on the local news. He didn't try to contact me either. Not even a fake apology text. Total silence. Which made it worse, in a way. Like he was hiding, hoping it would all just go away. Spoiler, it didn't. I finally called him. He picked up with a hesitant, "Hey, man." Hey, man. I was like, "Don't hey man me. We're not boys. You slept with my wife." And then he hit me with the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life. "It wasn't about you, dude. It just, kind of happened. We connected." Connected? Connected? What is this, a rom-com? He said she came to him crying one night, they got drunk, and one thing led to another. And I said, "One night? You mean the months of texts and secret meetups and whatever the hell else?" He didn't deny it. He just said, "I didn't mean to hurt you. Bro. You didn't accidentally fall into my wife." Repeatedly. In my house. With my clothes probably still hanging in the closet. I told him he was dead to me. That he'd betrayed me in a way I'd never even imagined possible. Not just as a brother, but as a human being. Because this wasn't just lust or drunken stupidity. This was a months-long campaign of deception, and he knew it would destroy me if I found out. And he did it anyway. The worst part? My parents found out. I didn't even tell them. Somehow word got around, thanks, small-town family gossip pipeline, and my mom called me sobbing. My dad, the most chill guy on earth, said, I raised 2 sons. Only one of them's still my son. That hit harder than I expected. Liam's been iced out. My family barely speaks his name. And yeah, part of me feels sad about it, this is someone I grew up with. We shared bunk beds. We had inside jokes. We built forts and snuck beers and played dumb pranks. And he threw all of it away for a few months of ego stroking and sex. I don't hate many people. But I hate what he became. It's been a couple months now. The divorce papers are signed. The house is mine. She moved in with a friend, not Liam, apparently guess even he drew a line somewhere. I haven't spoken to her since she left that night, and honestly, I don't ever want to. As for Liam? Still dead to me. I blocked him on everything, and I'm not lifting that anytime soon. My family's torn up about it, but they're not pushing me to forgive, at least not yet. And if they ever do, I'm not sure I'll be ready. People keep asking how I'm doing. The truth? I'm healing. Slowly. Some days still suck. Some nights I still wake up pissed or confused or just lonely as hell. I catch myself reaching for her side of the bed. Then I remember why it's cold. But weirdly enough, I feel lighter. Like I'd been carrying this invisible weight for years and just now realized how heavy it was. And the more I think about it, the more I realize, this didn't start with the cheating. That was just the finale. The real problem was the rot under the surface. The lies, the disconnection, the resentment we never talked about, or worse, covered up with fake smiles and Instagram filters. So here's what I learned, and what I'd say to anyone who's going through something like this. 1. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. I ignored the signs because I didn't want to seem paranoid. But your instincts exist for a reason. Don't gaslight yourself. 2. Protect your peace. You don't owe anyone your sanity. Not even your spouse. Especially not someone who treats your heart like a doormat. Get out, cut the cord, rebuild. 3. Pain is temporary. Clarity is forever. Yeah, it hurts. Like hell. But once the dust settles, you start seeing everything clearer, including yourself. And that clarity? That's priceless. 4. You'll be okay. You might not believe it now. I didn't. But you will survive this. And one day, maybe even thank life for ripping off the mask. And finally. 5. Never let betrayal make you bitter. Let it make you better. Wiser. Sharper. Kinder, but with boundaries. Because no matter how deep the knife goes, you get to decide how the scar heals. Thanks to anyone who read all of this. I didn't post this just to vent, I wrote it because somewhere out there, someone's going through the same thing, thinking they're alone. You're not. I see you. And I promise it gets better. Victory Hand. A crypto guy who lost his wife and brother, but found his damn backbone.